Hello, everyone. Welcome to this video about the special education process in Alaska. My name is Mary, and I am a devoted parent advocate at Links Resource Center, proudly serving the Mat-Su Borough School District. The purpose of this presentation is to provide a clear understanding of the steps involved in identifying students with disabilities, from the initial concerns raised by parents or educators to the determination of eligibility and the development of an IEP. We will discuss the legal framework under the IDEA, which guarantees special education services for eligible students, as well as state-specific guidelines that govern the process in Alaska. This presentation will highlight the crucial role that parents, educators, and specialists play in advocating for students' rights and ensuring appropriate support is provided. By the end of this session, you will have a comprehensive understanding of the evaluation process, the evaluation summary and eligibility report, also known as the ESER, how eligibility is determined, and how an IEP is developed and implemented to meet a student's unique needs. Our goal is to understand the steps involved from initial concerns to eligibility determination, ultimately leading to the development of an IEP if the student qualifies. This presentation will cover key milestones, including the evaluation process, eligibility determination, and the creation of an effective IEP. It is essential for parents, teachers, and professionals to understand these steps to advocate effectively for students. In Alaska, schools follow federal and state guidelines to ensure that every student with a disability receives the support necessary to succeed. Let's begin with the first step: identification and referral. Identification is the first step in the special education process. This begins when a parent, teacher, or healthcare provider observes a student experiencing significant challenges in learning, behavior, or social skills that impact their academic progress. These concerns may be noticed through classroom performance, standardized test scores, or developmental milestones. Schools often use screening tools and informal assessments to determine whether a further evaluation is necessary. If concerns persist, a formal referral is made to initiate the evaluation process. In Alaska, the referral process involves submitting a written request to the school's special education team, which then determines whether an evaluation is warranted. It's important to note that parents have the right to request an evaluation if they suspect their child has a disability. Once a referral is made, the school must obtain written consent from the parent before proceeding with the evaluation. The evaluation process is a critical step in determining a student's eligibility for special education services. Once parental consent is obtained, a multidisciplinary team conducts a comprehensive evaluation, which may include cognitive and academic assessments to measure intellectual abilities and academic skills, psychological evaluations to assess emotional and behavioral functioning, speech, language, and occupational therapy assessments if concerns exist in those areas, observations of the student in different settings, such as the classroom and during social interactions. Parent and teacher input provide additional perspectives on the student's strengths and challenges. The evaluation process must be completed within 60 days of receiving parental consent. The goal is to gather enough information to determine whether the student has a disability and how it impacts their education. After the evaluation is complete, the results are compiled into an evaluation summary and eligibility report, also known as an ESER. The ESER is a comprehensive document that summarizes the assessment findings, providing crucial information about the student's strengths, challenges, and areas of need. The IEP team, including parents, teachers, and specialists, review the ESER to determine whether the student qualifies for special education services under one of the 13 disability categories outlined in IDEA. These categories include specific learning disabilities, speech or language impairments, autism, emotional disturbance, and others. For a student to qualify, the team must determine that the disability significantly affects their ability to learn and requires specialized instruction. If the student meets the eligibility criteria, the next step is developing an IEP to address their unique needs. Once eligibility is determined, an IEP meeting is scheduled to create a plan tailored to the student's needs. The IEP team includes the student's parents or guardians, a general education teacher, a special education teacher, school administrators, specialists, such as a speech therapist or occupational therapist if needed, the student, if appropriate, especially in older grades. During the meeting, the team discusses the student's strengths and challenges based on the ESER. Together, they develop measurable academic and functional goals, identify necessary accommodations and modifications, and determine the appropriate services and supports. The IEP serves as a legal document that outlines the educational plan for the student, ensuring that they receive the necessary interventions to succeed. Once the IEP is developed, the next crucial step is implementation. Special education teachers, general education teachers, and specialists work together to deliver the services and accommodations outlined in the IEP. Accommodations and modifications ensure that the student can access the curriculum effectively. Accommodations might include extra time on tests, assistive technology, or preferential seating, while modifications could involve changes to the curriculum itself. Progress monitoring is a key component of implementation. Educators track the student's performance to determine if the interventions are effective. If necessary, adjustments can be made to the IEP to better support the student's success. The IEP is not a static document. It must be reviewed annually to ensure it remains aligned with the student's needs. During the annual review, the IEP team discusses progress towards goals, any new challenges, and whether adjustments are necessary. Reevaluations occur at least every 3 years to determine if the student still qualifies for special education services. However, if concerns arise before the 3-year mark, a reevaluation can be requested by the school or parents. These regular assessments help maintain accountability and ensure the student continues receiving appropriate support. Parental involvement is critical in the special education process. Parents have the right to participate in all meetings, access their child's records, and provide input on the IEP. Schools must ensure meaningful collaboration with families. If disagreements arise, parents have options such as mediation, due process hearings, or filing complaints with the state's education department. These processes provide a way to resolve conflicts while ensuring the child's educational needs remain the priority. Advocacy is key. Parents who understand their rights can better advocate for their child's needs and ensure they receive the services necessary for success. While the special education process is designed to support students, challenges can arise. Delays in identification and evaluation may prevent students from receiving timely interventions, impacting their progress. Even when services are provided, ensuring they are appropriate and effectively implemented can be difficult. Schools may face staffing shortages or resource limitations that affect service delivery. Collaboration among parents, educators, and advocacy groups is essential to address these challenges and push for improvements in the system. In summary, the special education process follows a structured path from identification and evaluation to eligibility determination, IEP development, and ongoing support. Each step ensures that students with disabilities receive the services they need to thrive. Collaboration between parents, educators, and specialists is crucial in navigating this process successfully. By working together, we can ensure that students receive the accommodations, modifications, and specialized instruction necessary for their success. Advocacy and knowledge are powerful tools. Staying informed about the rights of students and families helps create an inclusive and supportive educational environment. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel and follow us on Facebook to stay up to date on resources and information. You can also reach out to us using the contact information below. We are always available to answer any questions you might have. Thanks again. See you next time. The information in this presentation is based on federal and state laws, educational best practices, and resources from organizations specializing in special education. Understanding IDEA and Alaska's specific guidelines helps ensure compliance and effective advocacy for students with disabilities. For further reading, these sources provide comprehensive guidance on the special education process and parental rights. Thank you for your time today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.